Hi folks, kind of a dark topic. This week I had a few conversations with some families as well as my wife about this stuff, mostly because of the news with the sexual predators, and then maybe hitting closer to home here in the Midwest, the teen physician who was sexually abusing children who were gymnasts, close to 100 kids. That went on for years. The conversation eventually that we've had evolves to the question, how do I recognize a pedophile and how do I keep my kids away from them? So I would say I can answer that, give some objective criteria for you, and then answer more personally as a father, but I think my emotions make me want to answer as a father first, and I think anyone that would want to hurt my children or my wife, I just want to kick the crap out of them and then lock them in a cage and make sure they never hurt anybody else. I think what would make it worse for me is if this were ongoing to my children and my kids were afraid to tell me about it. I think that would make it even worse on me. So that's my greatest fear, is that something would happen, my kids would be hurt, my wife would be hurt, and I wouldn't know about it, and I'd be in the dark all this time. Anyway, let me rein in my emotions here and speak more like a professional, like I should speak. So first let's start with who a pedophile is or where they are, and they can be anybody, but they're mostly people that we know. They can be family, grandparents, step-parents, cousins. They can be teachers and doctors and lawyers and members of the clergy and music teachers and babysitters. It could be anybody. I'm going to read you, though, some characteristics here that are significant for pedophiles. They're generally male and over 30 years of age. They're usually single or with few friends. They have mental illness, like a mood or personality disorder. They often have some vague gaps in their employment history, questioning what they got in trouble with in the past. They often talk or treat children like adults, and they like to find kids that are close to puberty who are not sexually active but are curious about it. So these people are not strangers. They're very familiar to us. They like to groom us as parents. They like to groom the kids. They like to compliment us. They like to give us gifts and get on our good side. A classic example is someone who is in a position of authority, and they put their arm around your daughter and tell you what a great daughter you have, and you must be so proud, and you're such great parents. And so you feel proud because of the compliments you're getting, but at the same time, this person of authority, generally a man, is putting his hands on your daughter. So you're thinking as a parent, I'm so proud to hear these things, and this person is proud of my daughter, but at the same time, this child is seeing her parents smile while a man puts his arm on her. And this is in public, and so if the same man approaches her privately and puts his arm around her, then she would think it's okay because her parents already saw him do it. And what happens is that they often continue to push, try a little bit more, see if they get away with it. Push a little more, see if they get away with it. And then pretty soon the kids are kind of hooked, and they can't really speak up, and they don't come to us and say, I was sexually abused. They don't know what that is. They'll say general things like, Uncle Bob is so weird. And then our gut response is, oh, don't make fun of your uncle. I've known him a long time. He's a good guy. You know, it'd be really hurtful if he heard you say something like that. So don't say that. He's fine. So then what are the kids going to do? Who are they going to turn to? Because they've essentially broached the topic with you, but they didn't get anywhere. So what's the next step, and who can they turn to? And there generally isn't anybody. So how can you avoid these people? How can you stay away from them? the only thing to do is to keep an eye on your kids and to try and pick up on weird behavior, overtly touching your children. Have somebody keep an eye on them. Don't ever leave your child alone with someone. Even when a grown man, even in a formal setting, has some interaction with your child, whether it's a dentist or a doctor like me or a priest or anyone, a teacher, the access to them should always be open. So a door should be open so anyone can see what's going on in there. Doors shouldn't be locked. They shouldn't be closed. If anything, they should have maybe even a female chaperone in the room, especially if it's a little girl. Some of these things are kind of overkill, but it's kind of important to know that your children, especially your girls, shouldn't be spending the night with men, overnight camping. They shouldn't be on prolonged trips like zoo or museum, just the two of them. Sometimes maybe it's good to have a nanny cam on that the nanny doesn't know about or the babysitter doesn't know about, so at least you can make sure everything is going okay. So I guess the bottom line is I don't know. I don't think anybody can tell you exactly who a pedophile is. I think there are behaviors that you can try and stay aware of, but the bottom line is that you have to watch your children and keep an eye on them, and also to have some emotional attachment to them so they know that they can trust you and that they can come to you and that you'll listen to them when they have a concern. Anyway, this is kind of put me in an unhappy place here, but I just didn't want to avoid this topic because hiding and pretending this isn't happening isn't going to help anybody. So you should just bring it to the surface and let the kids know that we love them and that we're going to keep them safe. Anyway, I'm done talking. Thanks very much, and I hope you have a great week.